Alright guys, today we'll be doing a mid taper on one of my friends. You want to start off by getting a forward guard and cutting all that hair nice and even. You want to make sure you're hitting every spot more than once, going in each direction or in every direction, just to ensure all the hair is cut nice and even. Now I got my 1.5 guard and I'm gonna make or set my foundation. For a taper, I like to give myself a good amount of room, and it also prevents you from leaving bulk around the ear. Now I got my clipper over comb and I'm starting to connect the side to the hair on top. And this is just a rough draft, but it helps me see the taper a little better. Now you want to, well, I'm starting off by lining up the C-cup just because he has a lighter C-cup towards the front, and I don't want to take the taper too high. This just helps me see where I'm going to set in that guideline. And this is a mid taper, so I'm going to set it in the temple area, and you want to set it in a rainbow-like shape just to give it more of that pop. As you can see, I'm making sure it's nice and neat, nice and bald. You always want to make sure you're doing that with each haircut. Now I'm going in with my gamma clipper lever open, setting in my first guideline with about 1/2 inch. And you want to make sure that all the hair is cut nice and even. This will give you the best looking taper. And then you want to slowly close the lever and work your way down until the line is no longer there. Now I'm going in with my 1 guard, again setting in a guideline about 1/2 inch. As you can see, I'm using a lot of the corner to help me create that the guideline in the shape that I want. And then same thing, you want to close the lever and work your way down. And now you can either get your half guard, or I like to go in with the lever open and just blend that in. The half guard will make it easier and prevent you from patching the client. And now you want to go back in with your trimmer if you left any line behind, just to give you that best possible fade. And you always want to go back in detail. Now I got my lever open, getting rid of any little dark spots I see. And then same step with the 1.5, go up about another 1/2 inch and bring that up to the top. As you can see, I'm still using a lot of that corner, just hitting any little dark spots, and again, going back to detailing, that's always important. And now we're moving on to the back. You want to set in that guideline, usually at the bottom of the ears or wherever. You can set a line in above where the hair grows the thickest. That makes sense. And now you want to, same steps as the side, going with the lever half open. And in the back, you want to spread out your blend a little more. I'm going about 1 inch. And this just prevents the taper from coming out too compressed, and you don't want that. In my opinion, I think that it doesn't look as good. It just looks too compressed. So you want to be generous and give yourself plenty of room. And I know that I set the 1.5, so that gives me about 3 inches of space. And again, close the lever slowly until that bottom line is fully out. And next, take the one guard, go up another inch, and repeat the same steps. Just close that lever until it's fully out, and it won't get the line fully out, and you have to go back in with the half guard. As you can see, I'm using a lot of the corner, just trying to fully erase that line. The homie. Alright, now I got my half guard, and I'm gonna use that to fully get rid of the line. And if that doesn't work, you just go one step back. But I think it should. So I'm going into lever halfway, trying to get rid of any dark spots, and then fully close the lever and get rid of that bottom line. Alright, now I'm gonna have my 1.5 guard, and again go about another inch. And I set in my first foundation with the 1.5, so I'm just making sure all that hair is nice and even, and then I'm slowly closing it to get rid of all that dark spots on top. And as you can see, it's not fully getting rid of it, and it's all about hitting the spots constantly. And if that doesn't get rid of it, you just go back one step back, and in this case it's the one guard fully open. Just get rid of all those little dark spots, and you may have to close it slightly depending on the client's hair. As you can see, that blend is coming out. Some dark spots, but we'll get back to that at the end. Now I have the clipper comb, and you really want to get good at this, because once you know how to use your clipper over comb technique, it'll really save you time. As you can see, I'm holding the comb outward, never going in. You don't want to take too much hair off, and always going little by little. As you can see, that taper is coming out. Now you want to set in that line. And usually I wait till the end, but for video purposes, I'm doing that now. And as you can see, you never want to push the line in too far back, but just enough to give you that crispy line. It's coming out sharp. And as you can see, I'm pulling down the ear. You just want to do whatever it takes to get you the crispiest line possible, using the corner of the blade to go around the ear. Now the other side, you just repeat the same steps as the sides and the back. And as you can see, again, I'm starting with lining them up just because I know it's light, and then same exact steps. So I'm gonna just speed this up. And this time, you see I brought out the 2 guard just because I didn't want to bring out the clipper over comb, but whichever method you want works. And now I'm putting in that C cup, and it's all about hitting the same spot over and over again, just to make sure it's as crispy as possible. And now that back line, again, you want to keep that natural, but enough to where you can get a nice crispy line. As you can see, pull down that ear, use the corner to set in that nice round line. And now for the hairline, I'm just taking it down a little using my clipper over comb, just because some of the hair was hanging over. You always want to prep the line up to make it as easy as possible. So as you can see, I'm starting in the middle, working my way to the left side because it was a little higher. And it's all about, you want to take this little by little, you know? Take your time on the lineup. And you can see, now you want to match it on the right side, and his right side grows a little lower, so you can see I had to go up a little higher just to make sure it was nice and symmetrical. Now that he's coming out, and then for that side lineup, you want to, I like to hold the trimmer sideways like that. Just helps me see, just give me the best line possible. And it's all about repetition, making sure that lineup is nice and straight. You see that angle, haircut's looking fresh. And again, just hitting that C-cup one more time, just trying to get the crispiest line possible. Hitting that front line up one more time. It's all about repetition, guys. All about the little details. And now we're going into the razor work. On that right side, I like to use a backhand technique, making sure I'm pulling down the skin. You never want to use the razor with on loose skin, because you will cut them. You always want to make sure that it's nice and tight. You can see pulling on that ear, hitting behind the ear, and again using that backhand technique to give that nice and crispy C-cup. It's all about just finding that technique that fits you, that helps you get the best line possible. Always make sure you're stretching that skin. See, I'm looking at it head on, and now I'm going in with my thinning shears, using that thin comb, getting out all those little dark spots. And with this client in particular, he has a lot of dents and just dark spots throughout his head. You want to make sure to get as much of those out as possible to make the cut look as smooth as possible. That's what's going to separate you from any other barber. You can see, just making sure that dark spots are out. It's coming out clean. I always like to detail every single cut just to ensure it comes out as best as I can. And now hitting that razor one last time. As you can see, guys, that's the cut. I didn't get a after video, but you guys see it. Yeah, just let me know what you guys want to see in my other videos, any way I can improve. It's my first video, and like I said, I'm only getting better. Thank you guys for watching.